the recording. Yes, please. Any questions in the morning? Like morning, we discussed about the virtual machines, creating the virtual machines, and all. Let me share my screen. Okay. So, any questions on that, guys? Anyone having any questions on like virtual machines, installing Oracle VirtualBox software? Any questions on that? Creating VM, installing Windows Server operating system. So, any questions on that, guys? Anyone having any questions, any doubts, any issues?
Sir, in the yesterday class, I have one doubt.
Yes, please.
You have said that HA means higher availability.
High
Make
availability.
the data high
Yes.
availability. To make the data highly by disaster recovery.
Disaster, the name itself is saying disaster recovery. Okay, the meaning, what is meant by disaster and what is meant by recovery, means if something happened, how quickly you are going to recover the database, or how quickly you are going to recover the server. Okay, so that is called disaster recovery. What is your recovery plan? How you are going to like achieve, okay, disaster recovery? What techniques you are going to use? That is called disaster recovery. Means if suddenly one server is down, or server is not accessible, or database is not accessible or crashed, how quickly you are going to recover your database.
Okay. Those concept also included. No?
Same. Your particular HADR means log shipping, mirroring, replication, clustering, always on. Okay, so these are all HA and DR concepts. Okay, again DR means there are no separate concepts. See, always on is a HADR concept. You can provide high availability, and if something happened, you can recover the database very quickly, right? So HA and HA means not these options, DR means not the nothing like that. But HADR means it includes all your log shipping, mirroring, replication, clustering, and always on.
Okay.
Right. Someone joined. Who just joined, guys? And next time onwards, okay, exactly it will start by 7:05. I'll give 5 minutes buffer time. Meeting link will open by 7 o'clock itself, but I'll give 5 minutes buffer time. Next time, don't be late, guys, as this is the first time. Okay, these 4 days, I mean, like these 4 classes, yesterday morning, evening, and today morning, and now, that's okay. Okay, I can understand, but next time don't be late. If you are late, I'm sorry, I cannot admit you. Okay, I'm very particular about the timings, and you know about me, right? So I'm very particular about this trainings and all. If you miss something, again, you are going to miss that link and all, which is very difficult to understand. Okay, right. Who just joined, please? Sir, will share code. Yes, please. I'm going to share you in the WhatsApp. Okay, and yes, who just joined? Who just joined, please respond quickly. Come on. Okay, guys. Okay. Chalo. Let's.
Sir,
Yes, please.
I have one question.
Yes. You can. You can.
Yesterday class, you said about bill numbers.
Yeah.
In bill number, what is the meaning of 70? What
7.
it indicates exactly?
No. See.
7.10.0. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. See, to identify the version of the SQL Server, Microsoft, okay, gave one number. Okay, so every time you cannot go to properties, or every time you cannot run a command selected at version, just to identify which version it belongs to, and whether this server is patched or not. To fulfill these two requirements, Microsoft introduced this build number feature. So by using this build number, you can identify which version of the SQL Server it is, and whether your SQL Server is patched or not. By using first two numbers, you can identify the version of the SQL Server. By using the next two numbers, like third number and fourth number, you can identify whether your SQL Server is patched or not. But it's not mandatory that you have to remember third part and fourth part. Why? Because lot of updates will be there. Whenever you are applying an update, always the third number and fourth number will be changed. So you cannot remember third number and fourth number. So as a basic requirement, you should be able to understand which version it belongs to. At least you should be able to identify which version the SQL server belongs to. Instead of going to properties, instead of running select at version command, that build number will help you immediately to identify the SQL server version. Patch means it's very simple, Hafsa. Patch is nothing but an update. You are doing patches regularly in your phone, but without knowing you are doing. See, phone pay, when you open it will ask for please update the app. Sometimes if you connect it to the Wi-Fi, automatically apps will be updated. But sometimes I'm not sure whether anytime you got this message, when you open the app, it will ask us to update the app. So you're updating the app. Why? Because every day lot of virus will come. They will try to attack. So because of security reasons and all, every time whenever the phone pay releases an update, we have to apply the updates. Otherwise, your application will be in risky state or some features may not work properly. So that is the main challenge. So patching is nothing but applying the updates. We can call it as a patching.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys? And of course, we have separate classes on patching, how to do patching and all. We'll take 1-2 classes and I'll explain how to do that with process. Any other questions, please?
Sir, my
Yes,
question
yes.
is
Uh,
SQL Server 97. You given some number 7.0. That is 7 indicates minor major number.
correct.
0 indicates minor number.
Correct.
But you given another number that is 70. What it indicates?
70, 70.
Uh,
This one. Okay, forget about it. I'll tell you. Nothing. It
yeah.
means, see, 70 means when you install SQL Server 97 in your C drive, 70 folder will be created. I'm going to explain once SQL Server installation is completed. I'll show you these folders. Okay. If you install SQL Server 2005, 90 folder will be created. If you install 2008 in the C drive, build number is 10.0, right? 100 folder will be created. Okay, if you see in my let me show you. Okay, in my C drive I'll show you. Okay, if you open C drive program files, okay, and if you see here C program files, if you install any software, it will create a folder with a software name and all. Microsoft SQL, see here 80, 90, 110, 130, 140, 150, right? So simply it will it will create a folder. That's why I just mentioned here. You can easily remember 7.0 70, 8.0 80, 9.0. That if you remove the dot, that means that these folders called binaries. Okay, these binaries will be created when you install that particular version and all. If you install 2017, 140 folder will be created. So you can easily identify which version you installed in your laptop or server by just checking the particular binaries and all. Yes, correct. Clear? Any other
I thought
questions?
you already
No,
explained
no,
it.
no, no, no. No, I thought to
I thought
explain
I
after
missed it.
installation of SQL Server, but you just asked, right? So that's why we just covered before installation. Any other questions,
Okay,
please?
sir.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no problem. Any questions? Right? No questions? Fine. So can any, okay, we don't have time to question and answers. Let's jump into the demo, guys. So in the morning session, we just created a one Windows server and we have installed a Windows Server operating system, right? So we just installed Windows Server 2012 OS, right? So now what we are going to do, okay, what we are going to do, I am going to enable the remote desktop connections, guys. Okay, I'm going to enable the remote desktop connections. Why we have to enable the remote desktop connections? Okay, can't we connect to the server without RDP? RDP means remote desktop connection. Okay, in the organization we'll call it as RDP, RDP, RDP. Have you done RDP to the server? Your team lead or your colleagues will ask, have you done RDP to the server and all? RDP means a remote desktop protocol or connection. Okay, RDC also. Sometimes they will call you as RDC, remote desktop connection. Okay, RDP or RDC. So guys, we don't have control on this Oracle VirtualBox Manager. This thing we have already discussed, right? We cannot control this Oracle VirtualBox Manager. It will be controlled by the VM team or Windows team. They are able to start the machines, they are able to stop the machines, they are able to create the machines, they are able to delete the machines. Okay, we are not responsible, or we are not authorized people to control in the machine level. Okay, right. So now then how we can connect to the servers, guys? They will create the server, of course it's up and running, fine, but how you are able to connect to the server? You cannot directly go to the Oracle VirtualBox Manager and you cannot directly connect to the server. There is a way to connect to the servers, right? That way, that process is called RDP or RDC. Okay, so if you want to connect to the server remotely, usually I told you, right, after this OS team, once the OS team or Windows team has done their activities, network team will come into the picture and they are going to do some network activities, and they will enable some remote connections and all. They are going to do all these network related settings and all. So those settings now we are going to cover. Again, this is not part of the SQL DBA activities. This, for this, to perform this activity, whatever I am doing now, for this there is a separate team called network team. They are going to take care of it, guys. So nothing to worry. Okay. So now I have to connect to the server, right? Initially, what I have to do, as of now, there are no remote connections enabled on this server. I have to enable it now. So what I have to do, first of all, I have to start the VM, guys. Okay, as of now you can see here powered off. Powered off means the machine is not running. Okay, you can see here. So what is the shortcut to start the VM, guys? What is the shortcut to start the VM? In the morning we discussed. Right, double click on this VM name. Okay, just double click on this VM name so that you can start the VM, guys. Okay, so once your work is completed, listen carefully, you cannot start or you cannot shut down the server. Servers will be up and running 24/7, guys. It should be up and running 24/7. Suddenly if the server down means you cannot access the application. Imagine WhatsApp is down, you cannot access the WhatsApp. Have you ever experienced WhatsApp feature is down, WhatsApp app is down? Have you ever experienced this issue earlier? Anyone experienced this issue earlier? At any time your WhatsApp is down, guys? Anyone experienced this one?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
I think
4 or 5
YouTube has
months
down.
back, yes, recently means 4 or 5 months back or 3 months back, suddenly your WhatsApp, Facebook, Insta, everything is down. Not for 1 minute, 2 minutes, almost 7 hours it was down. All the applications stopped working, guys. Recently Zomato and Swiggy applications are stopped working. I don't know how many of you know this. Recently Zomato and Swiggy stopped working. 2 3 months back, I guess, your WhatsApp is down for 7 hours, night 11 o'clock to early morning 4 or 5 o'clock, it was down. I don't know how many of you remember, how many of you people experienced this, but it was down for 7 hours. WhatsApp, Facebook, and your what is that, Insta, all these main important applications are down. Means if your server is not running, guys, or if there is an issue with the server which is hosting the application or which is hosting the database, your application won't work, guys. That is the best example. So always see, if you are living means how your heart keep on running, how your brain keep on running. If any application has to start working means in the back end all the associated servers should be up and running. Web server should be up and running, application server should be up and running, database servers also should be up and running, network also should be there, then only your application will work properly. Otherwise, in this particular three-tier architecture, if any one component is down, your application will be down, guys. If network is down, your application will be down. If one database server is down, your application will be down. If application server is down, your application will be down. Like your web server itself is down, it can't reach the application, right? So server should be up and running 24/7. Okay, so once the server is created, hardly servers will run. Once it was started, the servers will run. It will be up and running, guys. Okay, just a minute. I'm getting one call, please. Don't mind. Right. Okay. Sorry, guys. Right. So in case if any server is down, that is the main challenge, guys. Server can't be down, guys. Again, remember this thing. You will never shut down the server. You can't shut. You will have permissions to shut down the server. Simply log into the server like how you are shut downing your laptop. The same way, hit the Windows button. You can see power button. Click on the power button. You will get three options: restart, shut down, lock. Okay, or log off. So if you click on shutdown, you can shut down the server. But you will never shut down the server. You don't have such kind of activities. In case if the server is not in use, Windows team is going to shut down the servers, but DBA team will never shut down the servers. We might restart the servers during some maintenance activities like patching, upgradation, installation kind of thing. We might restart, but we'll never shut down. So forget about shutdown option in the organization. You have to shut down on your laptop, your work laptop. Okay, your work laptop. You cannot shut down servers and all. This is very 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 important thing. If you miss this thing, if you shut down any of the server, definitely that will be your last day. Chalo, tata, bye bye. Okay, so again I'm saying it's very important, guys. Right. So now, as discussed, I don't have access or control to this Oracle virtual box. Now how can I connect to the servers if I don't have control? So network team will enable the network related settings, guys. So that settings now we are going to do. Okay. So we'll enable the network settings. Then we'll connect to the servers remotely. Then we'll discuss the basic prerequisites for installing SQL Server. Then we'll start installing the SQL Server. Right. First of all, I have to enable two settings, guys. One is first logged into the server. Guys, can you tell me what is the shortcut to open the screen, login screen? What is the shortcut?
Alt plus delete.
Uh-huh.
Control plus delete, sir.
Okay.
Control plus delete.
Right control plus delete. Okay. Right control plus delete. I'll get the login screen like this. Okay. I'll give my password. My password is 12 dots. Okay. Don't tell my password to anyone. Done. Okay. Fine, guys. Okay. Now it is loading. Right. So once you logged into this is like a direct way of connecting to the server, guys. In the organization, we don't connect like this. Okay. In the organization, we don't connect like this. This is direct connection, guys. Okay. Only Windows team or VM team can connect like this. DBAs and other teams, even network teams also, they cannot connect like this. Okay. So initially they might connect, but later they cannot connect directly. So they have to enable that. Network team has to enable the remote connections. So for that, what we have to do, once you log into the server, guys, you will get this window pop up. Automatically this pop up will come, guys. Okay. It's a server manager. It's a tool to install some softwares in the server. Will use server manager, guys. Okay. Now you can minimize or you can close the server manager. Not an issue. You can close it or you can minimize it. Again, if you want to open server manager, you can see here server with briefcase. This is server manager. You can click on it. You can open it if you want. Okay. Chalo. Now I have to enable the remote connections, right? What two settings I have to do? One setting is go to your Oracle VirtualBox Manager, right click, go to the machine settings. Okay. Go to the network settings, select bridged adapter here. Make sure it's a wireless adapter. Sometimes I can see 3 adapters here. Okay. Some people can see only one adapter. If one adapter is there, no issues. If you can see 3 adapters, make sure you choose wireless adapter. Fine. Select this advanced. Click on this promiscuous mode. Select allow all. Click OK. This is one setting that we have to do from your Oracle VirtualBox Manager mission settings. Okay. Done. The next setting, once you enable that feature, you will get this yes or no screen. Just click on yes. Whenever you are getting this kind of pop-up, always click yes, guys. Fine. What is the second setting I have to do? Open this folder, guys. You can see here this PC, right click, properties. You can see here remote settings. Click on remote settings. You can see here a remote desktop. Don't allow is enabled, right? Click on allow remote desktop connections. Click OK, guys. Okay, right. Let it as it is. Don't change anything. Let me select. Let me click apply and click OK, guys. Now those two settings are enabled. Okay, only these two settings you have to enable, guys. Right. Fine. Now what I have to do? How to connect to the server remotely now? How to connect to the server remotely? So if I want to connect to the server remotely, I should know two things. One is either server name or server IP address, guys. If I want to connect to the server remotely, I should know server name or server IP address. Anything is fine. Okay. Right. How to connect, how to know the server name? If you open this PC properties, you can see here server name or computer name. You can see here alphanumeric name you will get. How to find the IP address of the machine? Can anyone tell me?
ipconfig in command prompt.
Very good. Open CMD, open run. I hope you all know how to open run. Windows R will give you run. Guys, one mistake you are going to do when you are clicking Windows R, sometimes you will click in your local laptop. You will get this Windows R. Guys, don't confuse. If you get local laptop RAM, I mean like local laptop run, then local laptop IP address will come. Okay. Or if you are still confusing, click on right click on this Windows button, just select run button. Now type CMD. Okay. This is the command prompt we'll get. I want to find IP address, right? IP address. ipconfig is the command to find the IP address. ipconfig. Don't give any spaces and all, just hit enter. You will get this network Ethernet adapter. Okay, you can see this IP. This is our IP address. By using this IP address, we can connect to the server. Okay, right. So let's, what is the IP address? 192.168.1.9. Now listen carefully. Listen carefully. I want to connect to the server from my local laptop. Okay.